Okay, we are recording. Good morning. I hope everyone's doing okay after a harrowing week and that most of you have water and everyone has power. Thank you for being here this morning. My name is Shana Horton and I serve as the rules attorney for the TABC. Today's date is February 22nd, 2021. The time is 10:03 a.m. and we are here for a public hearing on two proposed rules. An amendment to Rule 33.3, which essentially just requires that renewal license or permit applications be filed no earlier than 30 days prior to the expiration of the permit. And then Rule 33.16, which is a rule of temporary duration that is intended to make our transitions that we have to go through at the end of August and beginning of September a bit smoother and easier for people to navigate and kind of know how we're operating, what the rules are that we're operating under, and plan accordingly. Let's see. The procedure for this meeting will be as usual. It will be in two parts. First, we will have an open forum, an opportunity for you to ask questions, and I will try to provide a response to you right now. You can ask questions about either proposed rule. And then after that, I will open the formal public comments. Formal public comments will be, I will not respond to right now, but they will be entered in the public record, and I will respond to them as part of the written response to comments that will come out in the Texas Register later. So at that time, if you want to make your formal comments orally, you can do that, and just be aware that I won't be responding, so you'll just be entering them into the record. You always have the option to email your comments. These rules were published on February 12th in the Texas Register, so you have until March 15th to get in any written comments, and written and oral comments have the exact same weight. There's no advantage to filing in writing or speaking today orally. They're all the same. So if you would like to file your comments in writing, you can file that at rules@tabc.texas.gov anytime before March 15th, the end of the day on March 15th, and they will be considered. We're intending to have this these rules considered by the commission at their March 23rd open meeting. Are there any questions about the topics or the procedures for today? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands. So let's go ahead and get started on the informal exchange. If you have any questions or comments that you would like to make, or anything you want to discuss regarding either proposed amended Rule 33.3 or 33.16, please just unmute yourself, state your name and whom you represent, and then we'll discuss whatever concerns or issues you would like to discuss. So the floor is yours.
Shana, Marcus Schwartz, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Rule 33.3. I'm fine with it as written. My one question is, do you know if this is going to be amended further following kind of the new system? For instance, is there still going to be a lot of this is, talks about pre-qualification packets, for instance. Are we still going to have that?
That's a good question. So 33.3 will be part of, there's going to be kind of a second round of changes. We've been through we've been through chapter 33 kind of once and did changes that we needed before September 1. And we're going to do a second round of changes for things that we're going to need to get going forward from September 1. So that rule package is in development right now, and the pre-qualification packet is going away. That section will just refer to, getting your certifications in a timely manner. So those things will be addressed in a later rulemaking that you'll be able to comment on and see and all that sort of stuff. So,
thank you. Gotcha. And then I guess while I have the mic, so to speak, 3316. There's it's in subsection C. It talks about the commission may relax and allow certain filings during August. I guess my question there, and this might be a licensing question, not necessarily you, but would it be best practices for, the applicant or the licensee side to just go ahead and file before asking, or do we need to ask first and then file? I just don't want us to be potentially penalized for, TBC, you're in, say you take
right.
11 days to respond, right? And then we're past our deadline, so to speak.
Right. We don't want to get in that situation. I think that the idea behind subsection C is that there might be something unanticipated, or that the only time you can do it is in August due to the deadlines that we have in rule. If one of those is going to come up, I think it would be wise to get that request in as early as that you're going to have a problem. So if you're aware that you've got one of those August deadlines and you're going to need a variance on that, I would get it in, probably right after session might be the best time. But if it's something unanticipated, of course, then we'll be fielding those in August.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Carla says, I have a question regarding new bottle size for distilled spirits. Is it going to be the new size 700 milliliter, or will it remain the same 750? I am not advised about that. That wasn't part of the discussion on either of these proposed rules. That's a question for licensing, and I will forward that to them and have someone get back to you. Are there any other discussion points that you want to just talk about now and not necessarily put on the permanent record, on the formal record? Anyone? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands. I'm always happy to discuss these things informally either by email. The best way to get in touch with me due to the working from home situation is definitely by email. And my email is shana.horton, shana.horton at tabc.texas.gov. If you want to have a phone call, I would recommend shoot me an email with your phone number and what you'd like to discuss, and I'll get back to you. And we'll talk about either of these roles, any ideas or concerns you have. Still not seeing any more hands for the informal discussion period. So we'll go ahead and open the formal comment period, formal comment section, of this meeting. First item is proposed amended rule 33.3. If anyone has a formal comment they would like to put on the record, please state your name and whom you represent, and then go ahead and make your comment for rule 33.3. I'm not seeing any hands. Okay, there are no formal public comments on 33.3, then let's go ahead and open it up for formal comments on rule 3316. If you have a comment to make on the record, please state your name, whom you represent, and go ahead. Okay. It looks like we don't have any takers on the formal public comment on Rule 3316. That concludes our business for today. So I will go ahead and close this public hearing, and we will talk to you soon about other rules. Thank you so much for being here today.